Do you like Kindle Unlimited? Why or why not? Well, Kindle Unlimited is very interesting. So, Kindle Unlimited is where authors and publishers can put certain books inside of the Kindle Unlimited ecosystem. It works very much like Netflix does, and you get paid based on page reads, just like people get paid for views on Netflix. So, there's an overall what we call pot. And anybody who pays for a subscription pays that money, and that money goes into the pot. Then, based on how many page reads you get so much money for each of those page reads. And it's based on your amount of page reads. So people are not outright buying books. They're buying a subscription. All that money goes into that centralized pot, and then it gets divided between people who actually get their books read based on the number of pages. So if you have 10 pages from your book read, you get paid for those 10 pages. And if they abandon your book, that's fine. You get paid for the 10 page reads, a couple of cents, and then you move on. Whereas if people were to buy your book, you would get the money for the book, but you also might risk having them return it and things like that. So Kindle Unlimited is very interesting depending on how everything works, because it is run by Amazon. And so if they say you had this many page reads, then you get that much money. But if they say you bought a bot to read those pages, then you don't get paid for that. There's a lot of back and forth that goes with this, and it really depends from an author standpoint, what genre are you writing? Readers inside of Kindle Unlimited read certain genres, and sometimes they read a ton of it, and sometimes they read very little of it. So some books perform really, really well and get paid good money because they're getting a lot of page reads, because they're in the right genres and because they're popular. And some people will put their books in Kindle Unlimited and not make anything because those genres just aren't popular with the readers who have paid into those subscriptions, and or they're not popular. So it depends on what works best for you. I have done Kindle Unlimited before, but I also do not do it right now. And that is because when you're in Kindle Unlimited, you're not allowed to have those books anywhere else on the internet. You can't have them on Barnes & Noble or on Kobo or on Google Play. So other people can't access it unless they pay for the book outright on Amazon or they pay into Kindle Unlimited. So it limits your audience. Now, what I have found for my books right at the moment, or at least I guess I should say in the past, it may be time for me to reevaluate right now, but in the past, I have found that I didn't get as many page reads on Kindle Unlimited as I did from my wide audience. So when I put my books on Amazon, not in Kindle Unlimited, but just on Amazon in general, and then I also put those books in places like Barnes & Noble and Kobo and Google Play and all those other places, that amount equaled what I was getting from Amazon. So for me, at least at the time, it was much better for me to be what we call wide in all the locations. So you can put your books in just Kindle Unlimited, or you can have your books wide. And it really just depends on where your audience is, what they want to read, and who's involved with all these things and how you're marketing it. So sometimes it's great, and sometimes it's not great, and sometimes you have to go back and forth, and sometimes you can try both things. The key, though, is when you are under contract with Kindle Unlimited, you cannot have your book anywhere else. So if anybody steals your manuscript and puts it online, which they do all the freaking time, you can get banned, and you can get in major trouble from Amazon because somebody else stole your book and put it somewhere. Or if you had your book somewhere and they didn't take it down, you can get in trouble. There's a lot that goes into it. So for certain genres, I absolutely would recommend putting your books into Kindle Unlimited because you'll make good money. And for certain genres, it's just not going to work to your benefit. So you got to do some time and research studying this and see what's going to work best, see similar books in your genres and what works best for them, and move forward from there. Now, one little caveat to that is that certain publishers, big name people like the Harry Potter books, get to be in both Kindle Unlimited and wide. So if you're extremely popular, then you get to be in both locations and make money in both locations. That does not apply to 99% of the author population. So just be aware, if you do see a book that is out both in Kindle Unlimited and the rest of the world, that's because they got special permission or they're breaking the rules. And that's all we've got for there. So you got to make sure you were doing your research on that one. As a reader, if you find a lot of books that you like in Kindle Unlimited, go for it. Why not? People get paid, you get to read books, it's all cool. And if you are a reader who goes through it and says, maybe these are not enough books to keep me satisfied during this month, maybe this is not going to work best for me, maybe you want to take your business elsewhere. You just got to do your research in advance.